Hey everyone, welcome back to TBM Sports. Exciting Thursday night football matchup, and this is one that I'm looking forward to personally. It's going to be a great one, I think, from a prop perspective. In one of the games, we're going to look to target here for the Week 8 NFL action. Okay, so if you are new to the channel, awesome. Love some new faces. Hit that like button. Say hello down below in the comments, and be sure to subscribe here to the channel. All right, let's get into the picks and run the board as we talk Minnesota Vikings traveling and taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, so a couple game notes that I do want to mention. First and foremost, Carson Wentz will still be at the helm for the Vikings, and they will get the return of Aaron Jones, looking like he will play here in tonight's matchup. I do have four best bets from a prop perspective, but in terms of a total or a side, I will talk about how I would approach that and where my leans are as well, with a lot of other picks that I don't actually have official best bets, but this is going to be a nice one, and you know, kind of looking forward to it because today is my birthday, and do have a lot of freebies from a lot of the sports books out there saying happy birthday as well. So gonna have some free bets to be firing here in today's action, and I can't wait for this Thursday night football game. Okay, so let's get it going. You see the Vikings traveling on the road, 3.5-point dogs, total set at 44.5. Now, we have seen the hook become more prevalent right now. If you looked earlier on in this matchup, this was a straight -3 for what we have coming. The one thing that I will tell you guys, though, is Carson Wentz and the Vikings, right? Looking at kind of how they've been playing football, it's something where I just worry about them being exposed based off of last week's result, okay? So that's going to be something where, yes, I do know kind of what Minnesota did against Philadelphia. 28-22. The game was a little bit farther away than I think that the box score and the final outcome actually alluded to. Philadelphia had I think a 21-9 lead in that game or something like that. So for all things considered, I just worry that the defensive scheme that they do look to deploy in Minnesota has been exposed a little bit, okay? And if the Chargers were watching that tape, kind of where I lean Chargers here in this game, and I think that's why we are seeing that hook as well. So from a full game perspective, I'm going to stay away from it. I don't want to bet for Carson Wentz. I probably would go in the opposite direction. I usually do play a little Carson Wentz interception any chance I can while he's still employed by the National Football League. But in this game, we do like a lot of the tight ends. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to stay away from the total. One thing I'll tell you guys, though, as we shift gears into some of the team props, Minnesota Vikings team total, this is kind of a I guess you would say baby way to approach this game. Instead of taking the Vikings to cover 3 and a hook, if you do want to just take them over 19.5 team total at -130, it's kind of a safe way to do so, right? Because I do think they score 20 regardless. And so the over 19.5 points, I favor that one quite a bit. Even if they don't cover the 3 and a hook, or if they do, or even if they win outright, I think that's kind of where you look for the Vikings also will be able to score 20 points. So safe way to do it. They have done this in 4 of the 6 games that we have seen. So if you do look into this and what the Vikings are looking to do, take their team total over 19.5. That's a prop that I like quite a bit, okay? And same thing honestly goes for the Chargers, okay? It's kind of a way to stay away from the -3s and +3s. If you do think it will be a field goal game, great. But outside of a live approach, looking at the team totals here, this is a safer way to bet the outcome of the game, right? So whatever team you think does win or cover, just take their team total at 20 or 20 and a half, and that's kind of how I would approach this, okay? So moving on, I do want to talk about these props, and the one thing that will be interesting is the Chargers offensive line, okay? That's going to be one of the question marks in this game. I do think that when we talk about the Vikings pass rush, right? I think they're 3rd in the NFL when we look at that. I am going to shift gears, though, and talk about the player props I do like. How do they hold up, and how is Justin Herbert going to be able to maneuver his way in the pocket and potentially even extend plays, okay? But this will not be kind of everybody's favorite, but if you do want to bet this, I will say one thing. Carson Wentz is going to throw the ball probably about 40 times in this game, so I do like the over 79.5 for Justin Jefferson. It's chalky, I know. If you do want to kind of spice it up a little bit, maybe do 5 grabs over, you know, a modified yardage prop, you could do that in a little same game action. But for me, guys, I just really don't see a way that Justin Jefferson, although you look at the wide receiver numbers there for the Chargers, ninth in receiving yards allowed to the wide receiver position, the Chargers do afford. That's one thing that does kind of keep me away from this one. It's probably my least favorite prop, but this is not the same Vikings team, you know, trying to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. This is Carson Wentz basically just chucking the ball, kind of similar to what we see with Joe Flacco. Passing numbers are up. I don't want to take anything Carson Wentz passing yards going over, but I do think this one kind of lends towards the conversation. Justin Jefferson will get this one done. Over 80 yards will be my first official best bet, okay? Next, Jordan Mason. All right, we talked Aaron Jones coming back, but I do think this is one where we look at the Chargers, and they are pretty much almost last in the NFL in touchdowns allowed to the running back position. I personally think he will get in. Jordan Mason is one of my favorite bets to score a touchdown. I've actually played this a lot throughout the year, and with Aaron Jones' return, we get some more value because I do think that he will be on a pitch count, he will be limited, and anything within the goal line or red zone, that's going to be Jordan Mason, okay? And this isn't going to be like some kind of farewell parade where they try to, you know, get Aaron Jones a welcome back touchdown. It's not going to work that way. We do get plus 165, and that's why it made my card. I still liked it at plus 115, but with Aaron Jones coming back in that workload, Jordan Mason anytime touchdown, it's just great value, okay? Plus 165 for a running back to score against the Chargers. We'll take that all day, okay? And it has been very profitable throughout the last 4 weeks. So that's going to be something where we've seen a lot of running backs have success in recent weeks against the Chargers, and I think that one does continue today. Okay, so Jordan Mason, anytime touchdown, one of my favorite bets of the day at plus 165. Next, let's talk about some tight ends, okay? And I will kind of end this video with the quarterback position, so make sure you guys stick around to the end, and I will recap all of my official plays towards the end of this video. But TJ Hawkinson, this is where we're going to take a little bit more juice here. It's not a favorable matchup from a statistical standpoint, but there has been a lot of tight ends, though, that have had success as of recently going against the Chargers defense on the tight end grabs perspective. But over 3.5 grabs for TJ Hawkinson. This is 2.5, okay? So minus 126. I'm going to take that. If you did like the receiving yardages, tight ends, I kind of lend towards the conversation of receptions, okay? A lot of times you get those checkdowns, you get bubble screens, you get red zone attempts from inside the 5. So sometimes the yardages don't get us there. TJ Hawkinson, though, does have that big play potential. You look at his longest reception, a little bit under that threshold where I think anything over 15 on average or into the 20s is that, you know, Travis Kelce kind of stat line where we do go longest reception. Hawkinson does not fit that mold for me, but over 3.5 receptions at minus 126 will be an official play. Next one, Oronde Gadsden. Okay, so check that name out. We're going to take him, and this is one where, guys, we saw an explosion against a good Colts team, 164 yards, all right? And still going to be the same kind of conversation here. Top 10 in the NFL, prohibiting tight end receptions, receiving yards, but Oronde Gadsden, this might be one of those plays where you're like, damn, I wish I never would have touched this, or it's going to be like, damn, I wish I would have put more on this, because this was one of the ones that is kind of a misnomer in this whole equation for Thursday Night Football. It's just way too low of a number, and there has been a lot of variance within his stat lines that you're not going to get a clear picture on what's actually what, okay? But the one thing that is prevalent here, okay, looking at the targets, this is kind of where you look into his target share, okay? He had 9 and 8 respectively over the last 2 games. So I know there was some comeback, comeback script definitely there against the Colts. But still tonight, guys, I still love this one, and over 42.5. Somebody could have actually got this at 40 a little earlier in the day, but still at 42.5. I love it. So we're going to go Gadsden over 42.5 receiving yards. Might be my favorite prop of the evening, okay? Lastly, this is going to the game script allowed. As we look at the team rankings here, you can see kind of how the one inefficiency the Chargers do have. It's in the red zone. Almost dead last, a 41.7% conversion rate for touchdowns, and this is where Cameron Dicker, the kicker, comes into play, and that's why we're seeing minus 170. It's going to be a very fruitful day for Dicker. If you did want to play this in terms of kicking points, you get a little bit of a better number. If you want to take plus 105, it's essentially 3 field goals or 2 field goals and 3 touchdowns. So if you do think that the Chargers get to 27 points, they're going to have to do it with Dicker hitting 9 points. So probably a little bit better, more profitable way at plus 105 in taking this is Dicker going over 8.5 kicking points at plus 105. Won't be an official play, but I love me some kickers, so I wanted to talk about that one because it does kind of fit the mold with how the Vikings play defensively and also the Chargers' inefficiencies, okay? Lastly, I do want to end on some quarterback discussion because if you guys know me, kind of my bread and butter in the NFL is taking the quarterback rushing, okay? And Justin Herbert, we'll look at his numbers real quickly. 17.5, he has sailed over that in 2025. 5 of the 7 games this year, he's made 17.5. This is one staring us dead in the face. The rushing yards allowed by the Vikings is one that does keep me away from this one a little bit. But I do think that Justin Herbert, with that depleted offensive line and the pass rush from the Vikings, it should go hand in hand. Okay, so I do think this was one that I don't mind it. And also, if you want to look into longest rush, that's going to be one that I'm going to stay away from, although he does always have the capability to extend a 12-yard run. So don't mind that one whatsoever, but I think the best way to approach this is just in his actual yardages or taking over 3.5 rushes, which I think is a little bit too low. But if you can't set it on a flat 4, you just have to add some juice to it, and that will be 3.5 at minus 140. Okay, so those are just leans. The one last guy I want to talk about is Carson Wentz, okay, because for his age and whatever he's bringing to this game, he can run the football, okay? And this is something where we've seen this in 2025, 3 of the 4 games, okay? 28, 13, and 12 respectively. And as we look at it set at 11.5, I do not mind that one whatsoever. If you wanted to take longest rush, if you're worried about kneels, sure, that's fine too. But right now, 11.5 is that mark. Very strong lean towards this. I actually kind of like it a little bit more than the Justin Herbert rush. But the one other thing I'm going to share with you guys, okay, 3 and 4 rush attempts respectively, over 2.5 at minus 154. That's almost like free money, laying a lot of juice though. So it's not really the best bet in the world unless you want to add it to a same game parlay. But also the longest rush set at 7.5 at minus 120. That one's pretty much self-explanatory, okay? So I do think that one has a very good likelihood of cashing as well, okay? So let's recap the best bets. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button, please do so. Just to kind of preface this all, very strong leans. Dicker, plus money, 9 kicking points. Also, I would talk about the 2 quarterbacks rushing department, rushing yards. And then also, I did have a kind of a small lean towards the Vikings team total over 20.5. Those would be the leans and the official plays. We are going to go with Gadsden over 42.5 receiving yards. Jordan Mason, we're going to take a touchdown at plus 165 now that Aaron Jones is back. Get some extreme value. Hawkinson, 3.5 grabs going over at minus 126. And then also Justin Jefferson, minus 110, going over 79.5 receiving yards. Okay. Appreciate you guys. As always, those are my best bets. We're going to not have anything in the total or the side perspective. I talked a little bit about that team total that I do like quite a bit. All right. But those are my best bets. Thank you all for being part of TBM Sports. And if you have not yet checked out the link for Outlier, sign up today. Also, the free Discord, that link will be down below as well. Let's enjoy it, cash some tickets, and I will have a World Series video up very shortly as we do look for Game 1 in the MLB, getting started there on Friday evening. All right, appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. Cheers.